Hey! In this video, we are going to address a very common question and a confusion that many learners have. We are going to talk about what's the relationship between Finnish courses, YKI test, and certificates, and what actually counts, and what you need, and what you should know about these. Alright, without further ado, let's get started. Here are some of the questions that I commonly get on my social media regarding my courses. Does your course give a certificate? Can I use it for YKI? For those of you who do not know, YKI means basically our standardized Finnish test that can be used for many things, among the most important ones for applying for nationality or for proving officially your Finnish level. For example, for your employer or an institution where you want to study. And a third question that I sometimes get as well is it recognized by Finnish authorities like TE office? And TE is a shortened version for työ- ja elinkeinotoimisto. Let's answer these questions. What you should know is that in Finland we have two completely different and separate systems. One is learning Finnish via online courses or in-person courses or on your own. You can choose the method that you prefer. And the second completely different thing is official recognition or the requirements that you might have, for example, for a specific job or if you want to study at university in Finnish, for instance, or if you want to apply for nationality. All right. I understand that in some countries it might be a little bit different. Maybe there are courses that can actually provide you with some solid certification that you can directly show to your employer or to an institution where you're applying, etc. However, in Finland, it's different. No Finnish courses can give you this official recognition as such. The most official recognition that you can get is through the YKI test. This is a standardized test in the whole country that is organized by authorities, and it's not part of any Finnish course as such. All right, this is a very, very important thing to keep in mind, that learning Finnish is what comes first. You need it before you can get any official recognition, but any official recognition is not included in any courses. All right? So, what the system one actually includes, it could be through online courses, it could be through in-person courses, university courses, you name it. Or you can study yourself, or take private lessons with a teacher, or you could use some books to help you in your learning. For example, Suomen mestari. All of these would go to the first category. But following any of these do not automatically give you any certification that is officially recognized as such for most of the needs that you might need a recognition for. And then the system 2 is the official proof in Finland, right? And the most standardized one, as I said, is YKI test. This is the official language test used for citizenship, sometimes jobs, for applying for many studies, etc. And you cannot replace this official proof of your language skills with anything else. All right? Not with any course certificate. I forgot to mention that if you have completed a whole degree fully in Finnish, it is normally enough of a proof of solid language skills for most purposes. But if this is your case, most likely you are not watching this video or asking for certificates anyway. And then if you need it for something job related or some social aids related, then normally TE-toimisto, TE office, is the one that handles those things. And it might have its own programs and its own requirements. So if this is something that interests you, then you need to check it directly with TE-toimisto. You need to check what their options are, what their requirements are, and normally this is related to employment plans and not certificates from language courses, right? So normally you do not need any certification from a language course. You need to check it directly with them. So now we're getting to a part of the real answer to all of those previous questions. Does this course count for TE office, YKI, or official purposes? And my answer is that it does not, because that's not what courses are for. This is true for my courses and also all the other Finnish courses as well. Even if you are taking Finnish basics at university in Finland, well, they might give you some sort of paper that you have completed this, basically a certificate of attendance, but it's not an official proof that you can really use for most of your paperwork. The most important thing that you simply have to keep in mind is that courses are for learning and tests are for proving. Both of these are important, but you cannot prove anything before the first part, learning, has taken place. And I think that the real issue behind all of these questions is what I would call shortcut thinking. Some people might think that if I buy a course, I get a certificate and I can use it officially to get a job or study place or to get my papers in order, or that at least this certificate is somehow going to make my life easier. And it's understandable that you want some tangible results from your learning and from the time and money that you are investing. But this is simply not how it works in Finland, alright? Attending any language course cannot do this. Well, why should you then even buy courses in the first place if you cannot get official certification from them and if it doesn't solve your issues? Well, because proving your official language level, you need to first build real language skills, and with courses you can build them faster than on your own. And also, courses often help you to prepare for real life situations. And this is what you need way more than any sort of certification if you are living in Finland. Also, courses help you to understand the logic behind the language way better than if you are trying to decipher it all by yourself. Normally in courses, you also get some sort of feedback on your progress, and this is very fundamental in your learning, especially if you are not sure yet what things you are doing well, what things you need to improve. Taking a course can help you to see better what those areas of improvement are and how to improve them. And of course, yes, taking a course can indirectly prepare you for the YKI test as well, although it does not guarantee the success because it depends on a lot of personal factors and your previous study background. Let's see some questions that you should not ask your Finnish course teacher and why. If you're asking, does this course give a certificate? Or is it recognized by TE office? Or is this course for YKI? These questions do not help you to learn Finnish. And these questions do not help your teacher even to have an idea what you are actually precisely trying to ask. Because, for example, if you're just vaguely asking about a certificate, what is it even that you need it for? What sort of certificate? Is it A1 certificate, A2, B1, B2, or what certificate? And by the way, if you are not familiar with the terms A1, A2, B1, B2, etc., you can check out my other video where I explain this language terminology in an easy way that helps you to understand at what level you are and what are the requirements for those specific levels. So instead of asking those previous questions, you could ask some of the following. Instead of asking for a certificate, you could think about yourself first. What certificate do you need? Why do you need a certificate? And then check the requirements for that specific certificate with the institution that requires that certificate. Because normally you do not need a certificate just for yourself. You normally need a certificate to prove it to somebody else. And depending on your goal, the requirements might vary and might be very different. So please check those first and then check the specific certificate that you need and how to obtain it. Instead of asking, is it recognized by TE office, check these requirements directly with the TE office, because this is not something that a teacher can do for you. Instead of asking, is this course for YKI, you could ask, for example, is this a YKI preparation course for so-and-so YKI level? There are 3 different YKI levels: basic level, intermediate level, and advanced level. Before a teacher can even answer you, they have to understand what YKI test you are planning to take. So please specify that in the question. And another very wise question that people are rarely asking is, what level do I have to have already before joining this course? This is very fundamental so that your teacher can guide you towards the best course for you. If you are planning to take, for example, the YKI intermediate test, but you are at A1, you cannot take an YKI preparation course, or you cannot take B1 course because you simply do not have yet the previous knowledge required for that course. So if you are gonna take YKI preparation course, or if you're taking B1 course, that's basically wasted time, money, and effort, and it's just gonna confuse you more because you have to study things in order. And of course, you cannot jump from one level to another, because then you will have a lot of knowledge gaps, and that's gonna actually just slow you down. Also, before contacting anybody about courses, it's really important to ask a few questions from yourself. A serious learner asks, what is my current level really at the moment? And what am I missing to reach the next level? Am I actually ready for B1, B2, or YKI? These are really, really important questions to make before you are actually choosing your next course. And if you would like to learn more Finnish in a structured way, step by step, you can join my online Finnish courses. You can study whenever you want and from wherever you want, with pre-recorded video content, downloadable PDFs, and our student community. All of my courses give you clear structure and a clear study path that helps you to know what you should focus on next, and it helps you to improve important skills for obtaining the next level that you want to achieve. These courses can also indirectly help you towards the YKI test, if that's something you are interested in. All of my courses have a certificate of completion, and you will receive it once you have completed all of the exercises of the course. However, as I earlier explained, none of the existing courses, mine or anybody else's, is a guarantee that you actually would or will pass, let's say, YKI test or some other official language test. Also, when you are planning on taking a course, it's good to ask questions about your own skills and do some self-evaluation. You can ask yourself, for example, can I actually understand spoken Finnish? And if I do, how much? Can I understand it normally always, or only very basic things? And if it's only very basic or I cannot really understand, then what can I do about it? What is the kind of course that I need to improve this? Can I survive in real life situations fully in Finnish? If I can, then most likely I might be already at intermediate level. If I can't, then I'm most likely in the beginner level. And if you're unsure about what all this means or how you can do this self-evaluation, please check out my video about the Finnish language levels. link in the description. And the third very important self-evaluation question is, can I explain my thoughts clearly in Finnish? If your answers to all of these three were a clear yes, then you might be at intermediate level already. These all are very crucial skills that you will need for the intermediate YKI. And here's another set of useful questions that you might ask your teacher. But before asking anything, please make sure that you have actually read the course description. And if there are any videos on the website or other explanations, check them out as well to make sure that you have all the information that you need to make informed decisions. And then you might ask something like, what is the recommended starting level of this course? What level does this course aim to help you to reach? Is this a self-paced course or live teaching? And does this course include personal feedback or not? These are very clear questions that all teachers should be able to respond with a clear answer. And they are also questions that already show that you are serious about learning and you are actually focusing on learning instead of just simply focusing on a shortcut. If you want to learn Finnish, take courses. If you want to prove your level officially, take YKI. If you are not ready yet to take YKI, take courses. If you want something recognized by TE office, follow their instructions and programs. And last but not least, a certificate doesn't mean that you can speak Finnish, but your skills always show with or without a certificate. That's why I personally think that going after certificates as such and having a certificate as your main goal as such is not a very good idea. What should be your main goal is to be actually able to use the language in the way that is important and relevant to you, to be able to use it in the context that you need it to. If you like this video, remember to let YouTube know as well so that it will reach and help even more people. And as always, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Moi moi!